Hook, April 23rd, 1967. The clock had just passed 3 a.m. On the endless plains of Kazakhstan, floodlights illuminated the towering launch pad at Baikonur Cosmodrome. Engineers rushed from one control room to another. Soldiers stood silently at their posts. Officials from Moscow watched every movement with impatient eyes. To the outside world, this looked like another glorious chapter in the Soviet space race. But behind the scenes, many of the people standing at Baikonur believed they were about to witness a disaster. The spacecraft waiting on the launch pad was called Soyuz 1. Its pilot was Vladimir Komarov, one of the Soviet Union's most respected engineers and test pilots. He was intelligent, experienced, calm, under pressure, and perhaps the only man who truly understood just how dangerous this mission really was, according to engineers working on the project. The spacecraft still suffered from numerous technical defects. Several critical systems had never been fully proven, yet the launch date remained unchanged. Politics had won. Engineering had lost. The Soviet Union desperately needed another victory in space. Only a few years earlier, Yuri Gagarin had become the first human being to orbit Earth, shocking the world and proving Soviet technological power. But history moves quickly. America was catching up. NASA's Gemini missions had demonstrated complex orbital maneuvers that worried Soviet leaders. That pressure inside the Kremlin became overwhelming. Failure was no longer considered an option for the engineers. However, reality looked very different. The new Soyuz spacecraft represented a huge leap forward. Compared to earlier capsules, it was larger, far more complicated, and filled with systems that still required extensive testing. Many specialists warned that additional unmanned flights were necessary before risking a human life. Those warnings were ignored. Years earlier, the legendary rocket designer Sergei Korolev had led the Soviet space program through its greatest triumphs. Under his leadership, Sputnik changed history. Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space. The Soviet Union dominated the early years of the space race. But in Ijulilil, Korolev unexpectedly died after surgery. His death created a leadership vacuum that proved impossible to fill. His successor, Vasily Mishin, inherited an ambitious program, suffering from limited resources, growing political interference, and impossible deadlines. The engineers worked day and night, but time was running out. As preparations continued, internal reports described serious technical concerns. Power systems, orientation controls, thermal equipment, landing mechanisms. None inspired complete confidence. Every successful test seemed to uncover another unexpected problem. Still, the schedule never changed. The Soviet leadership wanted Soyuz flying before. Another American success captured the world's attention. Among the cosmonauts, nobody understood these dangers better than Yuri Gagarin. By now, Gagarin was not simply a national hero. He was a global symbol, yet, behind closed doors, he remained deeply involved in the Soviet space program. And he was deeply worried. His closest friend, Vladimir Komarov, had been selected for Soyuz 1. Gagarin knew exactly what that meant. He reportedly argued that more testing was needed, that the spacecraft wasn't ready, that rushing the mission could end in tragedy, but political momentum had become unstoppable. Komarov himself never behaved like a frightened man. Those who worked alongside him described someone remarkably disciplined. Every checklist was reviewed, every emergency procedure memorized, every possible failure carefully studied. If anyone could survive an imperfect spacecraft, it was him. Ironically, that may have been exactly why he was chosen. The friendship between Komarov and Gagarin stretched back many years. They had trained together, shared victories, shared disappointments, trusted each other completely. Some historians believe Komarov understood that refusing the mission might place Gagarin in danger of being selected. Instead, whether that belief alone influenced his decision remains debated. But one fact is undeniable. Komarov never stepped away. He accepted the mission, knowing the risks better than almost anyone else. As April approached, i.e. trained test pilot, trying to save both himself and the mission on the ground. Engineers quickly realized the seriousness of the situation. Without both solar panels functioning, the spacecraft would eventually lose power. Even worse, the faulty panel affected the vehicle's ability to orient itself correctly toward the sun. Every passing orbit made the situation more dangerous. Mission control worked continuously, searching for solutions. Different teams suggested different procedures. Komarov patiently attempted each one, hoping something would restore the spacecraft to full operation. Nothing worked. As Soyuz 1 circled Earth again and again, communication was interrupted whenever the spacecraft moved beyond radio range. During those long, silent periods, nobody on the ground knew exactly what Komarov was experiencing when contact returned. His professionalism amazed everyone. Despite the growing danger, he spoke clearly, reported every technical detail, and continued following instructions. It became obvious that completing the original mission was no longer possible. The only remaining objective was bringing Komarov safely home. Controllers decided to end the flight. Early Komarov would have to perform a manual re-entry, something that had never been fully tested. Under real mission conditions, failure would almost certainly be fatal. Drawing upon years of flying experience, Komarov carefully aligned the spacecraft for its return to Earth. Every movement had to be precise. A small mistake could send the capsule skipping back into space or burning up during re-entry. Finally, the braking engine fired. The spacecraft began leaving orbit. Inside, mission control, exhausted engineers watched their instruments with cautious Optimism. For the first time since launch, it seemed possible that Komarov might survive. As Soyuz 1 entered Earth's atmosphere, blazing heat surrounded the capsule. Outside temperatures climbed to thousands of degrees, while the heat shield protected the man inside. Then came the final stage, the parachute system. According to the mission design, a small drogue parachute would deploy first, followed by the large main parachute that would slow the capsule for landing. But something went terribly wrong. The main parachute failed to open correctly. Backup parachute was deployed. Also failed after becoming tangled with the first dot. Now there was nothing left to slow the spacecraft. The capsule plunged toward Earth at tremendous speed. What happened? Inside those final moments remains unknown. No verified recording exists of Komarov's final words. Over the years, many dramatic stories have appeared, but historians have never confirmed them. What we do know is this: until the very end, Vladimir Komarov continued fighting to save the spacecraft. Moments later, Soyuz 1 slammed into the ground with catastrophic force. The impact destroyed the capsule instantly. Rescue teams arriving at the crash site found almost nothing that could be recovered. The Soviet Union had lost one of its finest. Cosmonauts. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the entire space program. Investigations revealed that the spacecraft contained serious design flaws, many of which had been identified before launch. The accident forced engineers to redesign critical systems, especially the parachute mechanism, before another crewed Soyuz mission would ever fly again. For Yuri Gagarin, the loss was deeply personal. He had not only lost a fellow cosmonaut, he had lost one of his closest friends. Those who knew him said Komarov's death changed him forever. Less than a year later, Gagarin himself would die during a routine training flight, ending the lives of two men who had become symbols of humanity's earliest journey into space. Today, Vladimir Komarov is remembered not because his mission succeeded, but because of the courage he displayed in impossible circumstances. His story reminds us that every great achievement in space has been built upon enormous sacrifice. Behind every rocket launch are engineers, pilots, families, and difficult decisions that history often forgets. Soyuz 1 became one of the most important lessons in SPACE-FLIGHT.ITS. Failure ultimately helped make future Soyuz missions far safer, and even today, nearly 6 decades later, Vladimir Komarov's final mission stands as a powerful reminder that courage is not the absence of fear. Sometimes courage is simply doing your duty even when you know the odds are against you.